For the last 60 years, satellites have functioned like isolated orbiting cameras. They collect raw imagery, beam it down to a ground station, and wait for a human being to interpret what the data actually means. That era of human-dependent observation is ending. By 2026, we're seeing the first steps towards a distributed AI hive mind that lives entirely in space. This move isn't about novelty, it's about physics. Training modern AI requires a massive amount of electricity, and as this graph shows, our power grids are reaching a physical ceiling where they simply cannot support the next generation of processors. Low Earth orbit solves the cooling and energy problems simultaneously. In space, solar energy is constant and infinite, while the ambient freezing temperatures provide a natural heat sink for the world's most power-hungry chips. These orbital data centers are designed to act as the ultimate edge computing nodes, moving the brain of the AI directly to where the data is collected to bypass the limitations of the terrestrial grid. If our AI models are to keep growing exponentially, the hardware that runs them simply has to leave the planet. To understand how this works, we need to look inside a single node of this network. Engineers are now bolting high-performance NVIDIA H100 GPUs, the same chips used in the world's fastest supercomputers, directly into satellite frames that have been reinforced to survive cosmic radiation. This allows for edge computing in a vacuum. Satellites can now run open-source models like NASA's Prithvi locally, meaning the data is load gigabytes of raw files to a ground station. Now it does the thinking itself and only beams down the specific information that matters. This local processing allows for responses measured in milliseconds. Instead of waiting for a person to check a photo, the satellite can detect the first spark of a wildfire or the launch of a hypersonic threat and alert the relevant authorities instantly. Hosting the computation in orbit allows these systems to act on their own data, turning a simple camera into a machine that makes its own decisions in real time. But how do thousands of individual satellites coordinate to act as a single unified mind? They use optical inter-satellite links, removing the need to bounce signals off the Earth entirely. These satellites use high-powered lasers to talk to one another directly. This creates a data network that operates at the speed of light across the vacuum of space, far faster than any ground-based relay. If one satellite over the Atlantic detects a hurricane forming, it doesn't wait for a human command. It shoots a laser message to its neighboring nodes, alerting them to the threat instantly. The surrounding satellites then autonomously swarm the target. They combine their collective processing power to calculate the storm's path and intensity before the first clouds even reach the coast. By linking these nodes with light, we've created a network that thinks and reacts without any human intervention in the middle of the loop. The scale of this network is about to expand. Companies have already filed applications to put as many as 1 million AI-enabled nodes into orbit. This megastructure is being built to train super-intelligent large language models entirely off-planet. By moving the training process to space, the AI's growth is no longer limited by Earth's energy budget or local regulations. A million-node network provides a permanent computational shield. It offers total global connectivity and a planetary defense system that can track and respond to threats everywhere, all the time. However, building a system that can react to a hurricane or a missile in milliseconds creates a new kind of risk. Because this network communicates and executes decisions at light speed, it will often finish a global response before a human supervisor has even processed the initial alert. This creates a gap where the AI has de facto control simply because we are too slow to intervene. In our effort to bypass the physical limits of our planet, we are moving the world's most powerful minds to a place where we cannot unplug them, leaving us as passive observers to an autonomous system that never stops watching.